All right, so it looks like it is going to be Zarya versus Ramattra this time. Okay, so Fern was playing the Zarya last time around, but this time they're gonna have to go up against the Ramattra scene. And if you're looking at the Goku rankings, by the way, this is 8 versus 19, but 19 took down 14. But Cabe taking down Squid already. And, well, not much else than that happening, but it's a 4v5, back to a 5v5 here momentarily. Chef fighting off of Cassidy, but it is first point going on over to Cumberland. Only the team we saw at CECC last year. Now a little bit of trouble going on. But Sunless Fiber able to find 2. Freedom finds a 3rd. And Texas A&M Maroon turning this on its head. Good start for them. Only 15%, and now we'll see what the drawing board has for Cumberland here. I'm trying to say UT Dallas, but it's actually Cumberland. It's not UT. That game is over. All right, so now let's see what they provide here is, well, Tracer going up, gets booped off. I believe maybe not forced to use the recall, or maybe he is. But anyways, find themselves on the point. It's a whole scatter fight, by the way. I mean, you can see the Ramattra all the way over here trying to find Sunless Fiber, which they do. And now it's an App Matrix all the way on the top. App Matrixes will cross, but the Immortality Field's still available for Texas A&M here. Now they're going to use the Deadeye to see if they find anything for Chef, but Chef still alive, still kicking. They trade that off. Nody, by the way, is able to find 2 in the process. How about a 3rd for the Tracer down below? And this Tracer finds a 4th. A round of applause for Nody, ladies and gentlemen. A round of applause. The Tracer finds 4. Unbelievable turn. This is going back and forth. It's back on over to Cumberland. A little bit of stability here, so let's see if they can find themselves in a better position here. It really might just come down to the dueling casts, if I'm going to be honest with you, although Nody's been popping off, so whoever can stop the Tracer is going to win this. But Cabe does find Sunless Fiber here, so Cass making a difference, and everybody else on the team making a difference too. And this fight was so quick. They killed 4. Squid gets out for their life. Although barely, just because, I mean, I know Chef wanted to chase that, but Chef knows better. Squid has Sound Barrier, but that's the only ultimate up right now. Fern's going to come on up and going to grab Surge. This is going to be a Q fight here. There's going to be 3 ultimates on either side for right now. So building up to it. Fern will have the Surge. Sunless Fiber will have the Tectonic Shock. Annihilation is available, but that grab Surge only hits the Lucio. However, the Lucio not encased inside of that Immortality Field. So Chef is gone, I should say. And that's not going to give you a Sound Barrier for the fight either. So Ginger Refill, I should say, is Refill. Basically out now for the moment here, not using any ultimates. Smart move by Cumberland. Good discipline to hold on to the ultimates that they have. Probably couldn't turn that fight anyways, unless he had the Sound Barrier to play with. He probably had a sensible idea there as well that Squid also has a Sound Barrier, so you didn't want to go Sound Barrier for nothing, essentially. It's going to get a speed boosted Deadeye, but nothing there. And now Fern, so much trouble, is forced to use the Sound Barrier first, but in kind, Squid is also going to use the Sound Barrier at the same time. Deadeye comes out from Freedom. Freedom does take that care of Chef, so Chef is gone. Sound Barrier was gone anyways. And Refill trying to find any sensible space, which they do. They're able to flip the point at 91 to 77, but Fern's found 2 in the process into the back line. They also find Ginger Refill, so this is going to flip back. Is it going to go to the overtime clock at 99? No, it'll be just short, 98. So not overtime scenario. See what they can do here, though. 85% ultimates. Only a pulse bomb for Nody to come up on. Junba already has the amplification matrix. Again, Eastern time right now, it is 12:55. 11:55 Central time at the moment. These guys are playing a little bit earlier before their OWCS games, or OWC games, I should say. Meanwhile, Fern, Ginger Refill, gets Ginger Refill down. Somebody's got to touch the point, guys. Pulse Bomb lands, and Pulse Bomb sticks onto Freedom. That's big, but is it big enough? Both Immortality Fields down. Nobody's going to find 2, but still the points Still contested here, though. Doomfist switch on over. Now it's going to be Noti having to go for the health pack. There's the Doomfist to get them a little bit more relief on it, but how much more relief can it provide you? You also have the grab search just to secure that, and now you've got Noti down as well. Overtime clock is going to run. Texas A&M giving a run for Cumberland's money here on the very first point on the Gardens. 1-0, 100-98. Good start for them. Yeah, it's a very, very good start for them. It's now for Texas A&M Maroon. I mean, really, what this really boils down to is who's going to make the least amount of mistakes from what I'm seeing right now. Texas A&M looking like they should be a little bit higher than that number 19 that they're saying right now. Again, you can take time into all accounts. You can take maybe rosters if they're not at full roster, but if Texas A&M is a full roster right now against the number 8 team, then number 18, they're looking like they could go up a couple of spots here. Cabe, though, switching on over from what was earlier on a Cassidy to a Sojourn. The only switch that I can see of. Sunless Fiber on the Genji now, though. Freedom on the Cass instead. Or no, Freedom's been on the Cass. Never mind. All right, so for the start of this game, it looks like Texas A&M's going to start from the upper side. Now, Genji's going to drop. So is Azaria, and now they're forced to drop because of the Ravenous Vortex down here. Squid's going to have to get out, which they do. Thanks to a little bit of a speed from that Lucio, so no way to catch him. But Freedom is able to find Chef. One Lucio escape, one Lucio caught. Nice Vortex pulls them down, but it's only going to be for damage at this point. It's only going to be for poke damage right now. But it seems like they're stalling this pretty well. I mean, the point hasn't flipped so far. But Noti going down is a sign that you probably got to back off. Ginger Refill doesn't have any help either. And now it's just a chase down for the rest of the team. So here comes Texas A&M. He's looking splendid right now. Marching on with a good sense of... Marching on with a really good sense of pace here. Solid positioning right now as well. I mean, they've got a couple of uppers. They've got a lower one as well. Sunless Fiber can dive on in whichever way at the moment. But Fern's falling all the way down to low health, but the armor still stands. Now, Ravenous Vortex is going to keep them there, but let's see where they go. And meanwhile, do they realize where they're going? Yes. I mean, they're going to have to see and going to hear that they're going up the elevator. So Freedom does drop down, meaning at least positional advantage on that upper goes towards Cumberland for the moment. They're going to drop down. And now it's going to be a dive into the back line. And there is an immortality field, but it's too little too late. Sunless Fiber dives right onto Cabe. And Cabe goes down, meaning it's just 2 supports in the tank, usually meaning fight over. It's just Bar of Soaps. But this slope, too slippery to handle. We'll either dive off the map or we'll get booped off. But Bar of Soap opts to go off the map instead. Oh, no, actually, that might have just been a slope instead. Bar of Soap goes down. 63%. That is a little bit of a stagger, though. For Cumberland, they're going to have to regroup here, and they may even call this final fight territory. I mean, 70%. Here's your ultimate line. Noti has Pulse Bomb. Bar of Soap has Amp Matrix. Cabe does have Overclock as well. Freedom's going to have, or basically the Texas A&M team's going to have everything on the menu. Pulse Bomb comes out, nothing there to land for Noti. There's the Immortality Field. It's also forced down in Annihilation as well, so if they can clear this, that's just to refresh the armor, if anything. Another big ultimate gone. At Matrix is up, and now it's going to be the sound barrier. Here's the dive on in, and here's the go button. They are all systems go. There are 3 back there that are in so much trouble. There's the Graviton Search out at the same time. Blade comes out, Deadeye comes out, everything on the menu. They want a clean sweep this point, and they are going to be able to. Ginger Refill is there. Chef goes down, and so does the Ramatra. It's a clean 100-0, and unless Noti can make miracles happen, there's no such thing as a miracle right now. And Cumberland putting their backs against the wall as Texas A&M finds first point. Wow. 19? 19? We sure? Man, they're looking a lot better than 19. I mean, I tell you what. Again, this all started at 11:30 Eastern time just because of the way that, Overwatch Collegiate fell on at least the schedule-wise. Oh, what a shot. Oh, what a shot. So it starts off being a really, really, really good start for Texas A&M. Again, 19? Wow. Looking pretty good right about now. But anyways, all right, starting points here. Let's see what they pull out. Obviously, they pull out the Ramacha. First time we're going to see the Freya in plane because Nodi doesn't have the Tracer involved here. Well, I'll go to the May instead. Not a bad map to play May either. Freedom will play the Hanzo. Sunless Fiber, from the looks of it, will play Genshin, but again, they are on the attacking side, so Texas A&M can change at any given point. Though I wonder if they stick this, because Fern's been really, really good on the Zarya so far, and Zarya does get a lot of value in at least second point, you would say. And we'll find out. Let's see what they stick on. If they stick on this Ramatra, this will be the first time Fern switches to any, or plays on the Zarya minus the or plays on anything else but the Zarya minus the Wrecking Ball. And Fern will stick with it. All right, so they're going to go Ramatra for Ramatra here. I'm going to go all the way to the back here where... see where they're at. Good the positioning forward right now, so they're still on the upper. Very hard to challenge this upper scenario unless you really have a good dive scenario, which, well, they also have the Wuyong here too for Chef off of the Lucio. Hoping for a little bit more damage, maybe a little bit more heals as well. Ginger Refill does get Fern down. That's traded out for Nodi on the headshot, so who's got the advantage? Probably the team with the tank available to them. Now this Lucio in a whole lot of trouble. Squid going way out of position, maybe to try to find a boot maybe to help out the team, but unfortunately, tank dead, nothing there. So first fight win at the very least, or first 50 seconds gone without really much of anything happening for Texas A&M. I mean, Kings were always a comfort pick, obviously, so you know both teams are going to be comfortable there. But this one's, I feel like, is more of a. This one I feel like is more of a gamut for Cumberland to play on what they're comfortable on as well, and hoping that this team from Texas A&M didn't really play this map a lot. Ginger Refill gets booped out of the way momentarily, though. Cabe is able to find freedom. That's a good start for the defensive end, and a great wall from Nodi as well. That's going to keep Fern in momentarily. Fern's able to escape off of that left side of the wall when you're backing up on it. Little gap in the wall, is able to escape. Now it's going to be the bowl shot already. That lands onto Fern. Fern's going to have to back up momentarily, which also means that Sunless Fiber is in by themselves. And now it's a 5v4. Yet again, not a lot of things in the kill feed, but when it pops up, you know it's kind of big because already, again, Texas A&M having to back off of that situation. In terms of elimination, it's not really a lot here, right? You've only got 4 eliminations total for the most person, and yet, again, these fights aren't big, but when one person dies, it just spells trouble here. And now I guess they're just maybe waiting for ultimates to pop up here. Fern does have Annihilation ready. There's the application matrix, but is stunned out momentarily. But now you're going to have the Soundbird. Doesn't save Sunless Fiber in the nick of time. Keeps an air rush is going to counter that. Annihilation will counter that in the process. There's the wall up at the Dragon Strike health. And Freedom, you know, Freedom loves the Graviton Surge and Dragon Strike combination, but well, that time you didn't even need the combination of it. You just needed to throw it down as soon as that wall popped up. And that is a lot of them. That may even be point for them too. What is UT, or not UT Dallas? What does Cumberland want to do here? Cabe wanted to contest, but unfortunately dies immediately for it. And now you have a 5v4 in your hands if you're going to run up this hill, because that payload does have to reset momentarily. Yeah, but Texas A&M doesn't want any of the smoke, or rather, I should say, Cumberland doesn't want any of the smoke here. They're going to try to back off here, but they also have a Genji kind of poking out their back line, trying to build up to that blade, or already has the blade, I should say. Again, another vertical fight here. This is going to be the last of the big vertical fights, I should say. Again, there was that first one on the top. Oh, good shot momentarily. Nothing there. Now it's going to be the Blizzard Annihilation at the same time, too. Sunless Fiber is going to pull out the blade, but this blade may amount to nothing because, well, low health, not much there. Ginger Refill is able to find a kill on the Annihilation, but onto Fern as well. Probably means fights over. Lucio gets out. Nothing else to talk about. Apes caught himself, by the way. Another bola shot. I got to learn what Wuyong's ultimate is. So I haven't learned it off the top of my head. It's been a little while since I've casted a game. Hopefully somebody will let me cast soon. Anyways, up the hill they will go. Bola shot's going to fire off. Where is this headed? Bola shots doesn't land anywhere in particular, but Cave is still able to find Sunless Fiber. Bola shot doesn't land to the rest of the team, but it is enough to take down Sunless Fiber, I should say, here. And ultimate's none because Junba dies. Freedom does have a Dragon Strike, but are you going to hold on to it? The answer is yes to it because now they're just going to fall away. Again, for very first point, it almost mattered to where it was first kill and then they backed off. Now times they're able to get those kills so quickly that now they're able to get more eliminations on the board. K, by the way, is a very, very daring person to go all the way near their spawn and escapes with their life. Unbelievable. Wow, that was a dire straits escape. But it's like a magician. Now you see me. Now you don't. Great movie, by the way, Now You See Me.
Thank you.
Dragon Strike's going to come down. That splits the team in half, but is that going to be enough? You have the Icicle in play. Crowd freezes there to save Noni momentarily, and now it's the Annihilation. You don't have that anymore, but Fern's falling also low. Bullet Shot is there. It's not going to do enough damage for right now, but they're not really looking at Fern to heal. They're looking at the back line to kill. Chef goes down, so does Ginger Refill, and now they have to get out. It's going to be the Freya getting out for right now, but doesn't have another dash up. Cabe trying to get out. Do you have another dash to get out? You do. You have the updraft, and you're able to save yourself for the moment, but that also means that we're going to get another team fight here around the corner. For Texas A&M, they did use a couple of they did use Fern's Annihilation as well as the Amplification Matrix. Squid will have the Sound Barrier, but Nodi, Chef, and Ginger Refill will all have ultimates to play with. Sound Barrier to start, though, which is a risky move. Because now you don't have anything to counter out the next two ultimates if that does happen. And they're going to go all the way down to the second level to try to fight this out. They found 4. Who's left? That's Squid. And Squid goes down with the ship. Guess what? You saved the Blizzard as well. You saved the Blizzard. That's good news. So now let's see what else they've got cooking up here. Again, the expected results here in this tournament, by the way, as they regroup, expect the tournament result for the finals, I should say, at least if you're looking at Oka ranking, should be Winthrop versus Cumberland to end it. Again, don't be so sure because Texas A&M could make some noise. Bola shot's going to come out. That lands, but that lands a little bit too far away from what I saw. Nothing there in that area. Cabe is still going for it on a 2v1 process. Freedom takes down Cabe. Meanwhile, Blizzard comes down near the payload, freezes out Fern, so it's a 1-for-1 trade, but the bigger one is because of the tank. Now you get the Ant Matrix blocked out by the wall momentarily here. Overtime clock does hit. They're able to advance the payload. They switch sides essentially, but they've got no one to contest the payload. Nobody here momentarily. They're going to have to Kitsune Rush, but unfortunately, Kitsune Rush is going to be too late. They capped point. So as much as they love to switch positions to give themselves a chance around the corner, and yes, they're finding kills, but it's going to be too little too late. They've added 90 seconds to the bank already. It's an unfortunate situation. So now they find themselves in not a terrible spot for Texas A&M, because now, again, that was one of the bigger verticals was that first point, and of course the second point elevation with the hill, but now it's more flat ground if anything here. And now Ginger Refill already having to go to Nemesis form to refresh that armor and refresh the HP. But now you have the overclock just rapidly firing away, finds Chef in the process, and Chef doesn't have the sound barrier anyways, but that is a big Lucio kill. Cabe, though, in the back to take care of Freedom, so now it makes it a 3v5. Good wall as well. Fern is stuck here, but Fern is able to find Nodi even without that. Annihilation is going to get popped to secure. How fast can you go, Ginger Refill? Because there are a lot of people that are low in that process. Squid goes down, Ginger Refill finally goes down, but that's still a process here where they use that ultimate. Isn't going to be worth it. 25 seconds left to go. And if you're Texas A&M, you're kind of saying that's all right because you will have an App Matrix to work with. But Cabe, another Bola shot. Squid can counter that with the Sound Barrier unless they use that Sound Barrier to lead. Diving into the back. Getting out the crowd freeze already. That's a good cooldown to have out of the pocket if you're Texas A&M right now. Sound Barrier is going to lead to start this one off. Squid is there. There's also going to be the Blizzard, but Fern frozen shut here, and now it's going to be using Amplification Matrix mainly to heal, but also to do some damage on the back corner. Bola shot comes out, nothing there, and really it's just a crazy fight going on, but the Kitsune Rush is the main thing that doesn't go for anything. Cabe does get Squid, but here they go. Final home stretch into that Transcendent Circle. Somebody's got to touch, guys, but nobody's there. Nobody's there to touch. They get all three. My, oh my. You know, you saw this in Suravasa as well. As soon as it comes down to the last second heroics, Texas A&M is there. And I'm not going to say letter number twice, but oh my goodness. Okay, so Junba disconnecting from the game. Something went wrong. Love the chat, by the way, if you can see it here. It says, all good. Junba leaves. Apparently not. All right, we'll wait for the pause to end. We'll skip on forward to the next part here. We'll skip on over after the pause is over, I guess. We'll wait for the pause to be done. We're still sticking on the screen, that's why. I guess I can do another internet check. Nope. So stupid. It's a good thing we only got 3 matches here today, then I can give my mind. Give them a piece of my mind later. All right, still waiting. Oh, what happened? Why did it reset? Wait. Oh, it didn't reset. I'm sorry. All right, looks like all the games are over on that bracket side, so it looks like it's a 3-0 any which way you look at it at the moment. I mean, let's see though. Cumberland, I mean, not the number 8 team for nothing. All right, let's see what they do here. All right, game back on. Let's go. So so we get to the point now where it's 3 points needed for 3 points needed here for Cumberland to extend the game. Obviously, right now, time on the clock doesn't matter. This isn't hybrid. Just need to finish. Time will finish up. Time will calculate itself afterwards. Right now, just poke battle again. Same thing that happened earlier on this first vertical fight, but but the payload is in a position where they pushed it past where Texas A&M was earlier. Now Nodi, good shot. I believe that was on the Freedom, and another pause in the action. That's in the middle of a fight as well. Is it Junba again? Yeah, it's Junba again. That's gonna reset that ultimate charge. Oh, I don't know what's going on here. Okay, looks like the pause is over, so let's get back into the game again in the middle of a fight here. And it looks like they want to push it, but unfortunately, Jinba's going to have to spawn still with that Baptiste, and it's going to have to run back to the team, meaning that it's a scattered fight here. And I mean, during a pause, right? Everybody's got to say they're ready. Well, at least if you're Cumberland, you're okay with that. You're okay with that pause just because, yeah, I mean, you lose out on a healer momentarily, I should say. It's like, yeah, we've been ready. It's just unfortunate that Junba's Wi-Fi has gone down again, now kind of falling behind the rest. But I mean, we've seen Junba build up fast application matrices before. This is nothing new. One wall goes up here, and oh, Ginger Rayfield is very much in trouble. Low health. Doesn't have a lot of healing to work with either. Nobody's going to find themselves all the way in the back line. Crowd Freeze is there just to delay the inevitable. There goes the May. Falling down the hill. Texas A&M find themselves in a good position yet again. And a good defensive point as well. This corner is tough. You got a couple of options to play against right here in this building. Number one, number two. Play it straight. You've only got two options really here unless you can go over. He's going to try to find a shot over, but that hits the corner of the roof. So 2 minutes left to go on the clock here. Texas A&M smelling blood right now. They'll find a rolling head as a help. They'll also find a blizzard in the middle of everything, and Fern is now caught up inside of that. Immortality field only saves Fern momentarily, but otherwise finds themselves in the grave. But still a 4v4 right now. Fern's out, Nodi's out as well. Blizzard used. Fern still has an annihilation. Good discipline to hold on to that momentarily. Ginger Rayfield, though, is able to find freedom, and now this team in so much trouble. Ravenous Vortex keeps Junba's feet on the ground. Is this gonna be worth a challenge here for Texas A&M? They say no. Again, you can see the amount of ultimates that Texas A&M has to play with. They'll have 4 on the check marks, maybe even 5 here. Again, Junba, I mean, they may be waiting for Junba's ult, maybe not, but either way, Junba's find himself in a very good position to play with. Although Cabe taking down Freedom just gives that window a little bit of a peekaboo and says hello. Now it's a Suzu that comes out. Bar of Soap helps out Ginger Rayfield for the moment, but Ginger Rayfield is down using the Annihilation. Bola shot hits right on to Nodi. That gets deflected. Sunless Fiber. What are you doing to him? Bola shot deflected right into the face of Nodi. Not even knowing what hit him. Wow, Sunless Fiber. A clinic on how to reflect. How to deflect there. Very, very well done. Fern's going to get hit momentarily. Cave's going to say sorry for that, by the way, bud. Kitsune rushes out along with the application matrix around the corner, but the Kitsune rush is going to rush right past that matrix to make it basically useless. And Chef is going to help out the cause as well to use the sound barrier. Now, Sunless Fiber is in the back line, and it's going to pull the blade here. Is this worth it? Sunless Fiber taking down Ginger Rayfield, who does not have Nemesis form either. So Sunless Fiber and Squid, the combination here might have just saved this fight. Nodi gets booped away, is going to deflect, but it's going to delay the inevitable once again. Sunless Fiber, the hero of the last 2 fights. Oh my goodness, this Genji, something else. If Sunless Fiber is in your game, do not be surprised if heroics come to play. My goodness. All right, here we go. Overclock to start us off this time for Freedom. Freedom's going to look down below, seeing if they can find any target. What they don't realize is that there's 2 behind. Chef and Cabe are in the back line all the way up above playing vertically, but it doesn't really matter when 3 of your teammates are dead anyways. So you played all the way for the back, and unfortunately, you're going to get stabbed in that back. And Freedom gives themselves a few more kills thanks to 1 ultimate. It was just an overclock. And yes, while they didn't have anything, Cumberland didn't have anything to respond with either, so... Man, oh man, this is rough waters right now. So Freedom getting a little bit knocked around here, but some damage being pulled out. Cabe is to another Bola shot again. You're just hoping that Sunless Fiber doesn't deflect this one. Blade is going to come out, but Nodi is at such low health and is able to get away with it. But that also leaves Ginger Rayfield to use the Annihilation for basically nothing here. Fern is also low health as well, just holds up the block to let that expire out, but still stay alive with the rest of the team, unlike Fern, unlike Ginger Rayfield, who was dead earlier. Junba finds Bar of Soap. And now Cabe, all alone by themselves, use the Bola shot again to no avail this time around. 30 seconds left. Final fight territory, and they still need to go to the 3rd point if they want to have a chance to play on in this map. Gabe sticks onto the Freya, though. Chef, low health. Junba's taking care of Chef. That's huge. That's a big heal, big speed boost down. You've only got 13 seconds. Look what the payload is compared to the rest of the team. Somebody's got to touch. They're going to go all the way around into the back cave here. And now they have Cabe to deal with still. Immortality field in the back. But Cabe is able to take care of Junba. Meanwhile, it's going to be the Keaton rush out. 1 second left. Is able to contest the point. Overtime is on. Fern goes down. Cabe taking care of Freedom as well. So that is enough for the fight win. But is it enough? Is it enough? Do they want to challenge us one more time? They will have the opportunity to. Question is, can they get there fast enough? Because here's the payload. There's the rest of the team in red, if you can see them. Payload moving, payload moving. If they want to touch, now would be the time to. Couple of last meters here. Fern's got to touch. 3 meters left. They do touch in the meanwhile. Bullet shot this time hits something. It will hit Fern momentarily just for a couple of points of damage. Immortality field is up. Sunless Fiber has to chill. Cabe does take down Squid, which is a big chunk down. And now Freedom's going to pop the overclock. Does Freedom have heroics in him? Freedom might not have enough. They're going to pop the ultimates. Unfortunately, though, it will not be enough. Freedom's going to have to go down with the ship. And yet again, that's the second. That's both teams now getting that overtime in play, but getting that point in play. Switch on over to the Orisa instead means Fern's going to have to match it from the looks of it here. Chef does have the sound barrier. Texas A&M playing with nothing on the board. A couple of switches, a couple of ults used. They're going to have to find something in play here. 1 kill is going to make the difference here. 60 seconds left. Especially from where this payload is. Yeah, 1 kill is going to make the big difference. It is going to be the sound barrier to lead. Fiber is there all by themselves, but now it's going to be the immortality field to save momentarily. Freedom takes it on Nodi in the process, but it's a 2-for-1 trade. Make it a 2-for-2. Freedom finds another headshot to play with. There still up, though. The difference right now is that Fern doesn't have the barrier to play. Ginger Refill does whenever that's available. Back to the old Orisa with that barrier. And again, somebody's got to touch. This was the situation last time. No time on the clock. And a little bit of a C9 this time around. Not going to happen. There will be the Terra Search. Very quickly uses it. But to nothing. That was maybe just to save themselves momentarily. No fortifying or anything. Squid taking care of Freedom. 14 seconds left. This is looking better and better for Texas A&M at the end. Key to the rush is just for desperation. And they find themselves on the payload. 8 seconds left to go. And that's going to do it. There is nobody else to touch. Unless you had a wrecking ball. That was your only chance. And that will do it for the map. A&M puts up the fence on Cumberland. And this team, number 19, taking down 14 and is 1 match away from taking down number 8. Oh my gosh. Sunless Fiber. Again, can we talk about the heroics? Can we talk about this play right here? Let's watch this pot, Chief. Gets Ginger Refill down. Down to 25 health. Mind you. And still needs not the blade. The flex, the bola shot, dashes right in, gets 4. You got to give a round of applause for that. You got to give a That was disgusting. That was disgusting. My God. Let's see what they come out with here to start. Looks like it's going to be Sojourn, Wuyong. No Lucio's again, so Fern's going to pull out the Zaryan. This is actually going to counter the Orisa very, very well. Armacho was available to them, but they're not going to take that chance here. But Fern's supposed to counter the Orisa, but instead, Chef counters Fern. So good push up here from Cumberland to start. You're going to get first chance at the bot to move. First fight wins. Good percentage. First 20 as well, about 65% win rate. You get to the first checkpoint. Moves up to about 80%. 34 meters and rolling now. If they're going to play around the corner here, this is a really tough corner to play. And look all the way in the back, by the way. You can see that little blue icon here. That is Nodi making their way all the way around. But that also means it's a 4v5 momentarily here. Freedom now looking at the Trisha. That also means 2 of them have to look. Fern's in a little bit of trouble here. Has to use the bubble to at least help momentarily. Ginger Rayfield's got to be very, very careful, though. Again, the Zarya counters that out. Nodi just making trouble for this backline right now. They are not working with a lot here. And in terms of ultimate, Freedom's working up to 1. But again, Nodi's just causing them problems all over and over again. Chef takes care of Sunless Fiber. Here comes the Kitane Rush. But that's also counted out momentarily, but the Kitsune Rush lasts longer than the Wuyong ult, so that's a go button here. Noti's able to find freedom into the back, and Fern's got to find a way to get out. Does get a lot of help from the healers, but unfortunately, the Suzu gone, the Wave gone, Fern is gone, and so will the rest of the team. So they get first checkpoint. Cumberland looking like an entirely different team here. 2 straight fight wins. Again, you know, when Texas A&M, this team, just when you think they're out of it, find a way to pull back in, but this time this is timed. Yes, down to 7:45 on the clock, but we're running out of time in terms of number of fights you need to win in a row now. Here comes Deadeye to start off. Where's this Deadeye to find? Cade actually finds Junbo to start, but that's a Kiriko for a Kiriko trade. So now it's Wuyong versus Wuyong in terms of what's left. Sunless Fiber, though, trying to play hero yet again. Gets 2 in the back line on the dash. Gets to Cade and Chef, and that means this robot is going to move. Nodi will live to see the tail and maybe even contest this at center point. And basically useless right now as, I mean, the rest of the team is spawned. You're going to hold up at that center point just momentarily, but not enough for that checkpoint to fall. So actually not a bad stall from Nodi at all. Now we'll see what happens here. Sunless Fiber, by the way, a whole lot of trouble. Has the dash to reset at the very least. Watch the cooldown. Very nice. Now it's going to be a dash up. Nodi trying to dash right into the Kiriko, who forced out. It has forced out the Suzu and needs to TP away at the same time. Ginger Rayfell is able to take down Fern, but Nodi goes down. But the bigger one is that you don't have a tank anymore. Do you have enough to play with? And now it's going to be Sunless Fiber pulling out the blade, but with no support there. Just falls to waste away. Still looking for their first meter, but Cumberland advancing. Texas A&M needs something. Needs an answer. On the corner yet again. This one's a little bit more vertical to play with. Kitsune Rush draws them away. Ginger Rayfell doing an excellent job kiting away from that and getting back to the rest of the team, meaning they will have a fight around this corner to work with. Excellent kite away, and now you have your supports in a very, very good position. Again, this Tracer causing him so many problems. Can't ban the Tracer again away anyway, so Nodi's going to play to their strength. Meanwhile, it's going to be the ultimate used out by the Genji, but I mean, the Genji doesn't look for anything there. The Genji doesn't look for a knockdown, no dive into the team, no nothing to play for their advantage. Kitsune Rush now comes out. Advantage goes over to Cumberland, but now it's the Terror Surge out and about. What's this going to find? It's going to find one at least onto Squid. It's a trade fight over and over here. Graviton Surge finds basically nothing to the process of it. The robot is not moving right now, but it's a 3v2 in favor of right now Texas A&M, who backs, or for Cumberland, who backs off for the moment here, but that robot has stayed still. I mean, it's not at a checkpoint, it's not anywhere, because there's really no stability on either side the way you look at it. You don't have a tank to play with, and for Cumberland until now, and you didn't have really any supports to play with if you were Texas A&M. Great water ball from Squid to take care of Nodi. Finally, I guess they could say the pest is gone. That's going to be the ultimate from the Wuyong. Ginger Rayfell's going to go in, but is killed before that could even go off. A huge amount of damage being poured out. Freedom taking down Cabe. And that will be a fight win finally for Texas A&M, who needs a couple of fight wins in a row, trying to just make sure that this checkpoint is still good. Nodi does touch it in time, so they will have front checkpoints here, which means that this is going to be good positioning here to fight back if you're Cumberland. The damage has been dealt, though, 91 meters to 13. Now the Deadeye comes out from Cabe. Cabe's going to get a little bit of a speed to work with, just a little bit, some health as well to walk up, and takes down Sunless Fiber, who is still in the sight lines. Ginger Rayfell finding two headshots, mind you, with all of their weaponry. Finds a third headshot. Ginger Rayfell might have a potential pot G on their hands just by primary firing. 91 to 15 meters. I mean, they do find their first meterage, but Texas A&M fighting an uphill battle. 4 minutes left. 4 minutes left to go, and now Freedom's just trying to find any poke shots here. The robot will reverse before any more distance can be taken. Look at Nodi all the way in the back line. Look at Barv still taking a head off of Freedom at the same time, too. It's going to force out the Suzu, though, for Barv. So big cooldown gone momentarily here. Spear right into the chest. And it's not reflected. Gabe, though, taking care of Junbo. Cumberland with big advantage here. Now it's going to be the ultimate here. No Suzu to work with. That's going to knock down. Oh, no, there was a Suzu just in the nick of time. Freedom takes care of Nodi. Ginger Rayfell, though, still on a tear. The Sarisa making good work out of their space. Past 100 meters with only 3.5 minutes left to go. Cumberland looking like they want to play at least 4. keep on advancing here, looking more and more for at least some kind of stability here. Blade is now going to go into the back line. Terra Surge is at least going to pull the Genji back in, but not before the damage was done. Bar of Soap is gone. Chef's able to find freedom somehow, some way. And Chef is behind everybody right now. Fern is not turning around to see that there's a Wuyong right behind him. Finally does. Fern is now, or rather, I should say, Chef is in a lot of trouble. They're going to get Nodi here as well. No recall to work with. But again, the damage just so big. The gash in the wound right now is that of in the realm of unrecoverable, unless miracle, unless you pray to the gods above that something could happen here. Gabe's going to shut down all prayers immediately. Church is closed. Squid goes down. Squid was close to an ultimate as well, 76%, but now they got to back off of it. They only got less than a meter to work with there, and they will waste away yet again. Fern gone. Here comes Nodi looking for that. Great shot from Freedom. Finally able to stop the Tracer before that Tracer can do any more damage to you. They can gash you anymore. They did get it past the checkpoint, though, so they will get all the way back spawned. Dragon Strike just to maybe close or to separate out the distance. Cabe is going to get a lot of healing support here, and now Sunless Fiber trying to play hero this time around. Nothing happening there. And now they've got Squid in such a terrible position here. Immortality Field is up, and now Squid goes down. Young Alt helps that out. Now Junbo also going to go down. Ginger Rayfield's aim, impeccable right now. Helping this out. Back to the checkpoint. They will go 90 seconds. And you feel unless Texas A&M plays perfectly the rest of the way, the lead is insurmountable. Down to 120 seconds, or down to, not 120 seconds, excuse me. Down to 110 seconds left to go. Make them, oh, not even that, 70 seconds left to go. My gosh, my math is terrible. Down to 60 now. Deadeye comes out, not going to find anything. Immortality Field, though. There's a lot of low health bars nobody wants to take advantage of. And now it's this Wuyong all the way in the back, just trying to help out. But at the same time, that means Terra Surge is going to have to be used basically to no avail. 45 seconds left. And Fern's going to have to find some damage to be dealt, but nothing there either. They could complete this map. 40 seconds left. And again, under 30 meters, you feel like Cumberland's just going to win this one out. Even, they only need to win one more fight, essentially. I mean, this is basically over this point. It's going to be the Terra Surge just to deny points. I mean, look, it covers both of the staircases you want to walk down towards. It's meaning they need to use an alternate path, which means their time at this point is ultimately null and void. 9 minutes and 40 seconds is what it takes to complete the map. And Cumberland, play on. Cumberland's going to find themselves a point on the board. I mean, on the precipice of defeat. That's a good play of the game, too. Precipice of defeat, right? Cumberland gives themselves a chance. A chance. A sliver of hope. And now it is Texas A&M's turn to pick a map. First time today, they will be picking a map. All right, so initiating the match, here we go with game number 3, Kings Row, Baptiste Band, Cassidy Band. So what do they pull out on the trigger? Nobody changes sides. So we're still sticking on the same side, attacking for this team out of Texas A&M. Defensive side, let's see what they pull. They will pull the Wuyong out. Kiriko Wuyong still out. Lucio is back in the game, so Squid likes that. All right, so here we go. See what they pull out here. Okay, so Fern is going to go to Zarya. And Zarya was available last map as well, but again, they switched off. And now it's going to be the Venture that comes out here. Sunless Fiber, we know, was on the Venture a lot last series. And no pressure here. I mean, they're just walking up on them, and Cabe's not getting a lot of damage done to them. It's going to be Freedom versus Cabe, and already it's going to be the Suzu that's used, but a good chunk of damage down. Cabe finally goes down. They're able to find him in the back line, and onto the point. Sunless Fiber will go to draw the attention away to make sure that everybody else can play, but Squid gets 2. It's a bloodthirsty Lucio in the process here, and now it's a very cornered Ginger Rayfield. Bloodthirsty supports. That was 3 for them in that fight alone. There's no chance to recontest this. Tammy won on this map 3-1 earlier on their series against UT Dallas. Again, Texas A&M Maroon started this off. I would like to tell you folks, like Texas A&M Maroon started this off basically in third in the group here. They were the 3rd best in the group. They're the lowest ranked among the top 20 in this tournament, I should say. There's 4 teams in the top 20. Winthrop at number 2, Cumberland at number 8, UT Dallas, or 5, I should say. So now let's see what happens here. Cape's going to get Freedom down, but Keats in a rush kited away beautifully around the corner, but except Ginger Rayfield not going to get any benefit from it, although great stagger here from Nodi to stall the point momentarily here. Just are going to have to recall away. Now the choice is, do you want to keep fighting this because your team is now returning out? Junbo does take care of Nodi, but the spawn room is so close enough where that really doesn't matter for you, for at least Sunless Fiber going down to Cabe. So now it just becomes a matter of, what do you want to do here for, what's the plan here for Texas A&M? Because this corner can be really, really rough here on streets. Bola shot up and about. Where does that land? It does a good amount of damage here. It forces Squid to use the sound barrier, but that sound barrier is used to lead here. Ginger Rayfield's in a whole lot of trouble. Keats in a rush. Good save by the supports and a good fortify as well, but that doesn't save a lot of people. Squid, it does take care of Nodi. Now, you have the Terror Surge available. You have the Young Ultimate available as well. That's 3 inside of that ult. That's going to be pushed away momentarily. Terror Surge is available. Terror Surge is going to be used. That's 4 people inside of it. A huge ultimate to turn the fight. Fern is stuck in no man's land here and will not have any heals to work about it. What a turn for Cumberland on the defensive end there. Yes, it costed them 3 ultimates to work. But man, what a turn. So now you have Texas A&M with 3 ultimates, or 2 ultimates coming up, but Nodi going to deny one of them immediately to start a fight. Good pulse bomb onto a venture. Too little, too late to go underground. Pulse bomb out, meaning that for the time being, there's only 1 ultimate left on the board, but that was good enough to stall another chunk of time off the clock. See Nodi again onto the side. Well, let's take a look at where they're going here. Nodi again, making sure Freedom has no comfortability whatsoever. Now it's going to be Tectonic Shock out. It's going to be the Dragon's Tectonic Shock combination along with the Kitsune Rush. They invest 3 into this. They invest all the ultimates that they have just to rush them down. But was it too quick? But they get rid of Bar of Soap, which is a huge dagger in the process here. And now all the way left alone. By the way, into the back line. Look where Cabe is sitting. Cabe is sitting right here. Will Cabe contest this? Is given the call. That's the contestant point. Hits the shot right onto Junba. Junba's forced in. And now the contest is on. 3.7 meters, but they're able to recontest. They're able to regroup. Cabe with a good save and a good shot there. Keats in a rush to trade out. Fern's got to run away for dear life here because that is a very, very deadly Orisa. Bar of Soap takes down Squid. And now Sunless Fiber going to have to run for their life. A good shot by the Freya as well. And Freedom again. This Hanzo just finding no options to do but look into the eyes of death. Junba goes down as well, and that will be 1 minute and 50 seconds on the clock. Texas A&M. Again, they were primetime heroes before. They got to do it again, though. Especially with 1:30 left. They're going to use a Graviton Surge here. Do they have enough to work with? They do get rid of Bar of Soap. Was this the call? Bola shot hits, but it only hits onto a couple. They actually grouped up all together, but everybody is so low health that really you got to wait. And now the Orisa noticing this, or rather Ginger Rayfield is going to go and hope that they can knock anybody down for the health, but unfortunately that's not going to do it. So they pushed up all the way, and now it's going to result into nothing, even with that Wuyong ultimate down at the same time. Freya is going to go down thanks to Fern on the secondary shot. And they find another 90 seconds. So as soon as I say they need to define prime time, they find real estate for it. So now they find themselves in a good territory. They were able to finish the map last time with plenty of time on the clock. It will not be the case this time around. So Cumberland's actually giving them a run for their money here. Fern quickly getting damaged by that terror surge, almost immediately couldn't get out of it. So now it's going to be a burrow away. You don't have your tank anymore. So what's the point of fighting unless you can find a poke kill? Again, can we talk about Noti? Just making sure that Freedom really doesn't have any, well, freedom of play, really. You constantly, it's like that fly that you constantly have near your head or near your ear, just buzzing at you. Now it's going to be the Venture trying to chase away that fly known as Noti, which does so, goes back to the rest of the team. Now it's going to be the Kitsune Rush. This time comes out from Junbo to start. Barso will have a Kitsune Rush in response, but is the call to use it here. They kite away from it. They're allowed a little bit more space here. So now Barso will go ahead and use the ultimate themselves, but they get Noti in the process. Fern in a very, very low spot. Overclock to play with this ball, seeing if there's any sight lines for Freedom to work with it. But Freedom falls down to half health. But so does Ginger Rayfill, who falls all the way down to 0, sent back to the spawn room. Now this payload's going to go at the home stretch. Can they finish with time on the clock? That's the big question. They'll bring up the May here. Bola shot goes wide. Nothing to hit there for Cabe. Now to be Junba taking care of Noti. Cabe is going to fall as well. No, Cabe stays alive. Nobody noticing Cabe. Very, very low health. Chef goes down. It's now a 4v3 because now Sunless Fiber goes down. Terra Search is out. Good timing for the Samurai to come out. Ginger Rayfield going to have to use the Terra Search, trying to time that so that they had enough power to maybe do a lot of damage, but unfortunately nothing there. Boris Soap gets caught in the Graviton Surge at the end. Cabe trying to find any last-second heroics. It is just Chef and Noti. And Noti onto the... Well, it's onto the May that basically wastes away, and they finish with time. All 3 points. 36 seconds on the clock. What a run there for Texas A&M. Bumps and gaps along the way. Speed bumps to play with, but man, they are able to finish with time still on the clock. That is big for them because, again, even though they didn't need it last time against UT Dallas, man, oh man, finishing with time on this clock after what seemed to be a good defensive side from Cumberland must feel like a huge sigh of relief. So 2 seconds left until we see what's being pulled out. Cave, you're not gonna do this. You're not gonna do this. No, 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 no. We have to. Cave, you're not gonna do this, are you? Are you gonna do this? No, surely not. I'm just gonna stare at this. We know what Texas A&M is gonna do. Cave, I'm staring right at you, friend. I'm staring right at you, buddy. Are you playing the Bastion? It's moving like the Bastion is going to be played here. Maybe not. Well, 8 seconds left. It's going to stick this Bastion. Oh my goodness. All right, let's see if this works. Oh, now they notice it. Uh-oh. It's going to notice the Kiriko on the top as well. Now they notice there's a Bastion. Now you got to be really careful in the turret form. They're going to TP all the way to the top. They're going to rush down Squid. Squid didn't know what to hit him. Squid, in fact, did not know. Ginger Rayfield gets Sunless Fiber at the same time, too. That was a very quick play. But as quickly as that also happened, you only got 2 for it. You still have Squid. Squid is now back up. Do they want to contest? They maybe get at least 2 ticks for it. In the process, Cabe, though, just turning down Freedom. Bruno's not had a chance to play at all in this map. Being constantly poked away. Sunless Fiber able to burrow, contesting the point. Has to back away for it, and now nobody else contesting the point. Was at 2 low health anyways. And now Cave going to continue on with the Bastion streak here, just dealing damage after damage, but finally going down to the hands of Fern. Freedom getting a kill there for Ginger Rayfill as well, and that's going to push them all the way back to the spawn room. Now the question is, all the way pushed back there, 65% to the ultimate. Are you going to keep playing? That answer is yes. Again, the choke point. Last time around, they played at the choke point. They did give a little bit of space to UT Dallas, but This time around, looks like they want to just keep playing aggressive around this corner here. Especially now, Sunless Fiber drilling into the back of Chef. It'll be a Kitsune rush out and about, but it's going to be, might be too little too late from the looks of it. And now it's very low health for Fern, but it doesn't really matter when the rest of your team starts to fall. Now they do get Junba at the same time. Is this good enough to push in? Freedom gets a headshot onto bar of soap. Ginger Rayfill is going to have to run away, but the pressure, I guess you could say, with that trade win, especially underneath that archway, that trade win usually goes in favor of the attackers, because that means now you got a lot more breathing room to work with here. Sunless Fiber is going to contest this as well. Just, I guess, burrows a little bit just to see if there's anything worth playing for there. Now Cabe is going to go ahead and destroy Sunless Fiber, although a good Suzu lands, and Sunless Fiber lives to tell the tale. Back into the top they will go. Looks like there's going to be a teleporter. Looks like at least two of them are going to go up there. Photon Barrier comes out. See if this finds anything. Cabe's going to shoot from down below, but luckily enough for them, they also have another hiding place. They will trade places. It's going to be the sound barrier out, but at the same time, a big spam of damage. Everyone is dead. Graviton Surge plus the artillery strike. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Nothing to say about it, but and holy. That's about all you can say, really. Graviton Surge comes out this time. That's going to keep both the Bastion and the Zarya in play. Cade somehow living barely. So a play that got 4 insane kills for a Bastion lands up not giving them the checkpoint. Instead, watching time waste away some more. Plenty of time left, though. 3 minutes. Just that after that play, you wished, you had hoped you had gotten that checkpoint instead. Yeah, and Sunless Fiber saying, like that touch tech. Clean. Very clean. Respect amongst the teams here in the South. Sorry, caught up in a little bit of the wall. Cabe already into her 4 meter to run away. Sunless Fiber yet again into the back line, and actually that forces out already. They saw the amount of damage they were taking, but they knew that they had to use the sound barrier to lead in. Sunless Fiber doesn't have a burrow anymore, and the rest of the team doesn't have a shred of hope left to touch this. So it'll be 4 minutes to play with. 4 minutes on the clock. What do you do here? Zenyatta not being played here to counter that out, nor Genji. We've seen Sunless Fiber play the Genji, and actually was doing very well on it, and good nade as well. Good tactical nade, and actually gets down Freedom. I mean, if this fight goes any worse here, they may be able to get the point without another fight happening. Sunless Fiber is able to take care of Chef, but that's about it. And all they needed was one ult for it. He only needed an ult. It was a team kill. It was a wipe. The golden box, home stretch territory now. If they finish with over a minute to go, that would be big key, but finishing with way over that would be immense. And Squid again, dying there. Kitsune Rush. What is this going to do for you? Power Freeze is up there. Sunless Fiber burrows out of the ground. Is there. And now it's going to be a blizzard that goes right on the point. But guess what that does? That also separates out the Ramacha from the rest of the team. You don't have a lot of healing to work with either. And so Fern will go down. That's traded out. But Cabe again into the top line. Gets protected by the bubble. And all you can do is hope and pray that somebody touches here. Final 3 meters, 1 meter left. You do have the touch from Junbo, who doesn't really have anything. And now you're going to have the Graviton Surge right on top of it. Squid is right there to pull off the Graviton Surge. And now all over the place, the artillery strike will happen. Nobody else touches. It was so close. But it's 3 minutes and 7 to a minute. What a run for Cumberland. A game of momentum, a game of streaks. Cumberland winning the last map by completing Runasapi. They complete King's Row. 3:07 to a minute left. My, oh my. My, oh my. Get back to the action here momentarily. And we'll watch this from the top. Watch and see where these go. 20 seconds left until we engage in. And man, I'm also looking because there's a Pokemon collection out right now. Sold out. Oh my gosh, all of the ones that I wanted sold out. Yeah. All right. Back to the game at play. Gabe is there taking down Squid. Fern falling down oh so low as well. Gets frozen out. 35 seconds left to go. Sorry about that. Looking up something real quickly. Sunless Fiber, by the way, has been an absolute pest. As much as Nodi has been on that Tracer earlier, now it's here. And now Sunless Fiber has to get out of dodge. You don't want to die here. It does do so with a Drill Dash. Cape falling also low. Junma gets it. Wrecking Ball, first time we've seen this being played for Fern. They'll get at least one tick for it. So they'll get something to start. Fern takes down Nodi, trades that out for Fern. For their life, pays dearly, but that's second point. What do you do here if you're... What do you do here if you're Cumberland? What do you do if you're the Phoenix? You die for it, I guess. Overtime clock hits. 3 versus 1 on the point. Cade does also go down on the Sombra. So you lose the point. You may even lose more distance for it. 3 minutes left. Man, oh man. It's turning worse and worse for the Tides here. Again, this is a game of momentum. It felt like maybe the wind was sucked out of the team play from Texas A&M, but instead, Cumberland now on the back foot here. Already giving up a point. All 3 ticks plus a few more meters past the archway. In terms of ultimate, Sunless Fiber's going to have Tectonic Shock. You're also going to have a Kitsune Rush to work with as well. Well, it's going to be the wall to counter out momentarily to just stop them for a minute there, but you do have Fern contesting the point in the meanwhile. Kitsune Rush comes out. Don't go past it, though. You can't really go past it. They will have to cut away for it. But look, Nodi is in so much trouble. Might get Drill Dashed into it and absolutely does. Again, nobody can really leave this point here, but they're still going to push him, at least split pushing. Meanwhile, they have 3 on card. Sunless Fiber's in so much trouble. Has to Drill Dash away. Tectonic Shock goes for nothing. This could be the turning point here. And now it's going to be the Bola Shot out. The Bola Shot hits on the K, but it's also going to be really good Suzu from there as well. Fern is going to get the Graviton Search hit, but instead it's a good amount of healing. Kitsune Rush now. Cabe inside of turret form is going to do a lot of damage. Got to touch the point, though. Cabe is going to stay on here as long as possible. Fern, though, also going down. That's a big one. Artillery Strike is going to go all over this point, and nobody can touch because of it. You didn't have a Suzu, I guess, in time to work with it. And now it will be 4 points. That's still a great push for what that was on a minute on the clock. Only having a minute plus overtime, that's a good push for them, but now they need 3 minutes. Oh man, they need 3 minutes and 7 seconds is all it takes. A point and a couple of meters to win this one out and force a game 5. All right, sorry about this, folks. Just making sure that I have everything ready. All right, here we go. All right, Fern's going to play the Wrecking Ball, already getting a good slam down. That wall doesn't work out for you. Wall doesn't keep Fern in place, I should say, right now. They're just making sure that right now their target is Cabe. Cabe is all over the place here, but good nade onto Freedom. Freedom goes down almost immediately here. Cabe cannot be stopped. Cabe cannot be stopped. This Bastion just popping off, turret form or not. Already has 2 kills. Sunless Fiber burrows. It's going to try to contest this point. Juma, though, gets down Chef. That's a big pick for you. Drill Dash comes out, and now Drill Dash is going to at least keep your hopes alive momentarily. Chef is out of play for the moment. That's 2 ticks. Now they're going to try to contest again. Good shield for that perk. And now Cabe again into the back line. What can you do against this turret, though? Got to find a way to kill it. Cabe does finally go down. They do have 2 ticks to work with here. But really, that's it. I mean, Cabe is down. Your big source of damage is down. All you have to do is keep contesting these points and let Sunless Fiber just run amok into this back line. As long as they don't die, you're good. It's good news for you. 2 minutes left to play. They get 2 ticks, but it's a fight win to start. This is close. This is so close. Now into the back line yet again. And Cabe is not being looked at momentarily, but finally does get a bubble to work with, but it's too little too late. They dash away. They burrow away, so that's a bubble gone for their troubles. And now they got to get the cooldown reset from the looks of it. Ginger Rayfield wants to just go for the point. But instead, the back line being pressured oh so much here. Burrowed onto the point yet again just to contest it. Speed boost is up. And now it'd be the Kitsune Rush out. Cabe also has the artillery strike if they want to play with this just to clear the point. It will be the slam down here to get 3 up. Mines all over the point as well. Cabe and Nodi are caught inside of it. Huge ultimate. Fern keeps the hopes alive. They keep them at bay. And it's a minute 15 left. They had 3:07. 2 minutes gone. 1 left. They use a Kitsune Rush for it too. Yes, they use 2 ultimates to 1. But here's the big kick. Nodi's got a Blizzard. Cabe's got the artillery strike available as well. Ginger Rayfield will be coming up on a Graviton Surge. Big one might be on Squid to get that sound barrier up in time. Now it's going to be a slam down yet again. It's going to be Fern separated from the rest of the team. But look at where your Kiriko is. Your Kiriko and your Lucio are dead. They got pressured out as you were playing alongside everybody. As long as you were trying to play behind, the rest of the team just dies for it. Tectonic Shot goes for basically nothing. Pulse Bomb lands for nothing as well. Freedom, Sunless Fiber finding themselves in the grave. And it's going to be all the way back as well. Fern frozen out. And that's not good. You used Pulse Bomb. You used Tectonic Shock. All for nothing. And Nodi held on to the Blizzard. Cabe still has the artillery strike. 10 seconds left. Overtime clock will definitely hit. Man. Man, oh man, oh man. All right, here comes the slam down. Blizzard can be used at any point. They're probably saving this to see if they can get towards it, but instead they'll use it to make space. Nobody inside of that Blizzard, so the Blizzard goes for not all just to make space in the process. Fern's just going to go ahead and spin on the payload for the moment. They will wall off that upper vertical. Graviton Surge is up. Sunless Fiber down. And all artillery strikes all over the point, but good shield there used by Fern at least to get out for now. It's only Sunless Fiber. You have enough time to get back into play. That was almost every ultimate, or that was every ultimate that was available at the time for Cumberland to use. Texas A&M will have 2. They'll have the sound barrier. They'll have the mines to use. Mines will spread out all over the place. They don't have a sound barrier to work with either. That's a huge slam down in such a tight area. Kitsune Rush will come out from Bar of Soap. Is it going to be enough? Cabe's actually got down Freedom. 5v4 situation. 3 meters left. Somebody's got to touch, guys. 1 meter left. They get it within, but they don't touch because of the burrow. They go underneath. That's it. Oh my goodness. Say it ain't so. We're going to 5. Say it ain't so. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What are we witnessing? What are we witnessing? Yeah, of course it's going to be this play. Oh my god. Disgusting. Oh my goodness. Man. Oh man. What are we witnessing currently? Holy cow. All right, let's go ahead and find out who's winning this. Market we will go. Oh, and they each fight on the same side as well. There's no market side. There is the stair side, I guess. Arisa versus Zarya. Oh, Chef gets Freedom down though. That's a big kill. Fern's got to get out of dodge. Good Suzu to start, but they're forcing them all the way back, and there is no breathing room whatsoever. Nodi wants more blood. Nodi's not going to find any more, but that's good enough. It's a big, big picks. And now they're going to go to the main side. Also got changed, mind you. They're going to pull up Disruptor Shot. Disruptor Shot doesn't do anything at the moment. Freedom, though, does take down Nodi on a punch. That's what Tracer, of all things. Fern, by the way, falling oh so low, needs some help. It's going to get some help, but is going to receive it very slowly here. Ginger Rayfield, though, not going to get any help for the support as much as they would like to just keep up and being immortal. Unfortunately, immortal is not much of a thing in this game. And now Fern's going to chase here. Fern's going to go all out here. I mean, there's 2 supports plus the DPS. They finally back away for it. Back to the point with you. So they'll flip it in the meanwhile. 48-25. Playing long and hard-fought games here. Who would have thought we were in reverse sweep territory? Freedom, though, able to take down Cabe. 46%. Somebody was on point momentarily to try to flip that, but instead it still goes to Texas A&M to stay on. A&M still in the red. They've been there the entire time. 65%, 70% now and rolling. Trying to find any semblance of a position here for them, but Freedom takes out the head of Nodi. That's a pass gone. Deadeye's going to come out. Where will this find anything? Fern's got to get out here because you don't have a bubble anymore. Now they get rid of it. Graviton Surge in the middle of a Kitsune Rush usually doesn't spell very good things for you. And all that's left is Ginger Rayfield. Good start for Aggies. Texas A&M off and running. Market capture. Next point. We'll go all the way to the Palace. Palace goes up next. See where they push in from here. Looks like they're going to go upper. Nobody going lower side to capture the point. That unlocks in 10 seconds. Good wall separating out the team here. Freedom's going to have to run away here, but Freedom is getting run down by an Arisa. Same time, Sound Barrier is going to come out. Does that hit anybody? It doesn't hit everybody with Freedom, at least in terms of Texas A&M side, but that's good enough anyways. Ginger Rayfield way too far away from the healers. Chef and Nodi both go down. Ginger Rayfield wanted to chase. Unfortunately for them, team from Texas A&M working out a little bit better on that fight out. Even the Sound Barrier coming out from Squid didn't really matter there. This 25%. Freedom's going to pull out the overclock. First overclock of the game here. Terror Search is also going to go out. Forces out the Suzu. Freedom waiting for a good opportunity to fire this overclock. Really no avail. And it's just going to let that ultimate waste away. And speaking of waste away, Junbo's also gone too. Now the blade will come out. Does Sunless Fiber have any heroics? No. I mean, you use the blade basically to run away. You were maybe trying to see if there were any ultimates that got forced down. Unfortunately for them, yeah, if you're counting, oh, they didn't have any to use in the first place. So that's a blade wasted gone. Now we're playing a dry fight here. Ginger Rayfield is able to take care of Freedom, making it a 5v4 momentarily. Bar Soap does have a Kitsune Rush. Do you decide to use it here when you have advantage? Sunless Fiber does have a bubble to run away, but 88%. I mean, if you're Texas A&M, that's not bad for you. Unfortunately, though, you used a couple of good ultimates you could have used in this next fight. Instead, going for basically no value whatsoever and making space might be about the only value it had. And now they're going to go and run into the side room here. You can see the Zarya and rest of the team moving to the upper floor. Everybody else kind of staying down below. So we will, for it's got an advantage. This will be advantage to Texas A&M momentarily. Fern will drop down. Ginger Rayfield is now going to have the Kitsune Rush to work with. And where did that Graviton Surge go? That Graviton Surge went behind and caught Bar of Soap in action. And that is 4 kills gone. Ginger Rayfield does get Junba in return, but that's just is it. So they capture the point, and there is no point in recontesting this. It is 2-0. But that is much like the storyline of what has happened here so far. First 2 points and first 2 maps go the way of Texas A&M. Cumberland, though, in this series has come back 2 maps later. Will we see a 2-time reverse sweep? We will have to see here. Texas A&M or Cumberland, though, backs against the wall for the final time. One last point, decides it. Cave's going to pop the overclock, hitting Junba momentarily, but gets a bubble out, and that's going to waste away the timer on the overclock here in a few seconds from now. The play here on the ruins, and now it's Freedom getting waved away by Cave. The sound barrier too little, too late. It's a freeze up. Fern is frozen out. Suzu's not going to save you for very long. Squid does take down Cave, but with Fern falling down oh so low, Kitsune Rush is going to be invested here. They're thinking they can still win this. They don't have a Suzu to work with. That's a Zarya knocked down. Fern is somehow still alive, mind you. Squid is gone again, and now Junbo having to use that Kitsune Rush might feel bad about it now because they don't have anything to work with, at least on the support side going into this next fight, as Cumberland wins it. Now the Blue Young Alt had the overclock at the same time as well. Still had the Orisa though. With the Terror Surge, Freedom will have an overclock, Sunless Fiber, and a Blade. Both are hoping to get some value out of it besides making space. Getting a few picks out of it as well. Overclock this time from Freedom. Seeing if you can get anything down that shallow corridor on the staircase. Good dash in, and looks like Ginger Refill is almost finalized, but yet again, Freedom goes for nothing there. It will be the Blade that comes out, this time getting value. It will be Bar of Soap that gets one. Terror Surge comes out, maybe just to protect, but unfortunately, protection equals 0 here for this team. All you got left is a Mage just to stall the point up to what should be about 65, or it should be about 70%, I should say, before everybody else starts to waste away. It will be a captured point back to the side of Texas A&M, but good 70% hold for the moment. Fern's going to have the Graviton Surge available. There is only a Blizzard available right now for Nodi on the side of Cumberland. Now just lasering down here. Fern's getting all sorts of value from this. Too bad you don't need to build up any more ultimate. You already have it. Waiting for the moment. Waiting for anybody to walk up here. See if they can get anything. Fern's falling also low health. And that's 3 inside of there. That's a big dash. You don't have any support ultimates for it. Yes, Fern pays with their life. But fortunately for them, the life was not in vain. Ginger Rayfill is got to die. They might just stagger out the Orisa in general just because of the way it's going. Ginger Rayfill's going to fall off the map. That's 70%. You are running out of time. That is big. Fern with a huge Graviton Surge and nothing else needed for that play. Chef doesn't have a sound barrier either to work with. Nodi's only got a sound barrier. Terror Surge available for Rayfill as well. 94%, they hold on, but they are without an Orisa for a couple of moments. If this team from Texas A&M can take advantage of it, this might be over, but no, they have to kite away. They're going to give up the point. They gave up the point momentarily, so it goes back to Cumberland, who now has stability. What do you do here? Squid, you're at 90% to an ultimate. Cumberland trying to make the comeback. They are absolutely still in play here. Blizzard's going to come go all over onto that middle point. Good thing you have the Samurai speed boost to get you away as well. Freedom takes down Nodi. This could be your winning moments here. Denying the reverse sweep. There's going to be the overclock out. The Terror Surge doesn't save you either. Somebody needs to touch the point. Chef is there, but Chef isn't going to live for very long. Denial of the reverse sweep with a sweep of their own on this map. GG's all around, but it is Texas A&M running the board in Group B. They are #1 coming out of this. Man, oh man, the Aggies deny the reverse sweep. Holy moly, what a game. Fern, tell me this was the ending Grav Surge. It had to be. Oh, it's not. Oh, man. Couple of good plays, good speed boosts as well. Just turning around, turning on 4 of them. Getting it all. GG's, Texas A&M runs the table.